What's going on? I was not waiting for my theme music to be up. I was not. What's going on? I have my things. Welcome to what burns me up after dark. Yeah, after dark. I'm excited. Okay, so I have a few things to talk about. First and foremost, I want to, hey, how's it going? I want to say, I had a marvelous time in Philadelphia this weekend. Like, no shade. Philadelphia for me was a memorable trip. One, because I've never experienced Philadelphia like I have. I've been going to Philadelphia since, to be honest, y'all, before I was supposed to. Before I went with a responsible adult, I was down to the modeling troops at Temple. What were we at? Were we at Temple? Lincoln? Listen, we were going from college to college, having a great time at model balls, all types of things, baby. I was from state to state. And so I've been going to Philly for a long time. And what I do and don't like about Philly is that it just feels too much about like New York to me. If you know me, I really don't like the demeanor of the people that's in New York that much, you know, but you gotta know people to know people. And I feel like the more I go to New York, the more experiences that I have. Same way with Philly, the more I go to Philly, the more experiences I have, the better off I feel about going to this place. Let's be clear. My husband and I drove down there on Friday night, which was a horrible. When I say horrible decision, a horrible decision to go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, on the night that it was so much rain that you could hardly even see riding to get there. We made it there by the grace of God. I anointed us before we left, and baby, we made it. But with that being said, I ended up getting accommodations at the Lowe's Hotel. I just need to look this up for y'all because, first of all, if you are just going to just go and visit Philly, stay downtown. Don't go and venturing off, trying to go in the city. Don't get your Airbnb. Don't do that. You don't want to be amongst the people. Don't do that. Go downtown with the people and the presence of the police is, all right? All right? And get you a hotel down to the Philadelphia in the center city is what they call it. So you go downtown to the city and you have all manners of hotels. You have the Canopies, the smaller boutique hotels, and then you have, like, where I stayed, a very large Lowe's hotel, which I didn't know that hotel was that big. If I would have known that hotel was that big, it gave you Marriott's. It's giving me convention vibes when you go there. So it was just, for me, like a little too big, but the room was awesome. The room was beautiful. It was spacious. It was super accommodating. The hotel had a 4.8, baby. And so when I saw 4.8, and I was like, we're not going to stay at the Marriott. The Marriott to me is just too commercial. So we ended up staying at the Lowe's, and I wanted to get this I wanted to get this this restaurant that's downstairs in the Lowe's Hotel because before after I went to the ball, which we'll get to Vanity Elite's second anniversary birthday ball. I said birthday ball. Vanity Elite's second anniversary ball. Before I get there, I went there, but then I came back to the hotel to change my clothes because Vanity had an after party. Okay. Well, I'm gonna talk about those chicken wings. All right. So it was so good, but I went to the Lowe's Philadelphia hotel restaurant. Let me tell y'all something about this. Let me tell you about this crispy duck leg and this bronzini. It's called Bank & Bourbon. It's downstairs at the Lowe's Philadelphia Hotel. If you ever have a chance, if you were watching my stories over what? If you were watching my stories over the weekend, y'all saw that I had a seafood gumbo. Y'all saw that I had a baked bronzini with this beautiful succulent tomato sauce that was just amazing. And if you saw that, then you saw this crispy fried duck leg that is to die for. If you are ever in the Philadelphia area and you want to just go in a little fancy, and you want to just put some clothes on and do the ones and twos, baby, stop past our Lowe's Hotel, go downstairs, go to the Bank & the Bourbon, and it was phenomenal. 5 stars across the board, baby. And me and my husband like to eat. With that being said, I do want to say before I even went there, when I woke up that morning, we went into the Reading Terminal, which is essentially a marketplace for downtown Philadelphia. One of the best that I've ever been to now. If you're from DC, you remember back in the day when we used to have a market, when it was open, baby, used to sell the fake North Faces, all the fake garments. Baby used to sell, baby, hair oil, book bags, anything that you can think of. Kind of like if you're going to Baltimore. If you're going to Baltimore, you go to the flea market. It was a flea market, but it wasn't giving flea. it had crab cakes and scrapple in there, baby. And when I left, I went back in there and got me a $14 croissant, which I do want my money back from. But I digress. With that being said, I had a wonderful time in Philadelphia eating. Let's be clear. The food is phenomenal there. I mean, phenomenal there. With that being said, I do want to get into Vanity Elite's ball. But before I get there, I do want to make a few church announcements. Are you with me? Let's go. So first and foremost, there are a couple of things going on in our modeling community that I'm always grateful for, because the more movement that's going on means that there's thriving somewhere, meaning that there are people who still believe in this awesome community. If you do not know, or if this is your first time here, I am the icon, Miss August. Miss August has a podcast called What Burns Me Up. I figured that I just invite y'all to my after dark ceremony, because this is when the juice gets to going. The juice is about to get drunk. No, for real. This is about to be a good time. But before I get to the ball, to be honest with you, I don't have any ifs or ands about. I just want to tell y'all about my experience, because I feel like it's always good to have multiple experiences from where you go, especially if you want to be involved in this scene, or if you DM me and ask me questions about what happened at the ball and why people ain't this and who was that and what happened with. Always get the beats after, but since I was there, I figured I'd tell y'all what I was a part of. But before we get there, I do want to get to this specifically. I want to just do a few church announcements. In the community, there is an influx of auditions and shows going on all at the same time, and people DM me all the time. I Miss August to you on Instagram. People DM me all the time and say, "Girl, I want to know next time you go somewhere." I formidably I support everybody. Like, if I can come, if that date is available on my calendar, if I can squeeze it in, I'm always gonna have an effect. So it ain't about me not having nothing to wear. One thing about her, she gonna have something to put on. Okay, but it's about my time, my availability. But with that being said, Models Envy is having auditions every single Monday this month. Icon Models is having auditions on February. Hold on. I don't know who that is for, but Icon Models is having auditions. But also, Models Inc. is having a fashion show in Baltimore. I just seen that before I got on here. It's on March 18th. Please go on there. Please go to all of these respective pages on Instagram. They are exactly what they say, baby. And also, the Models of Distinction of Towson University is having a show called The Odyssey on March 26th. And also, Welcome to the A-List is coming back in April. So you guys be on the lookout for all of that fun stuff. For me, I want to do my best to attend every single one of these events. I'm checking my March schedule as of right now. Right now, I'm looking good. It's looking up. I gotta get my child care together, okay? And once I get my child care together, I'm in the car. So if y'all want to accompany me, y'all want to sell out the place, y'all want to get a few tickets, y'all want to ride together, y'all know I'm a DM away, hit me out. With that being said, I want to make some recognitions while I'm on here before I get into Vanity Elite's Ball. Let's be clear. If you are not, let me scoot up. If you are not on Netflix today, if you are not on Netflix today, watching the new second season of Next in Fashion, you are living under what? There should be no reason in this community, no reason at all in this community that you are not watching Next in Fashion. Why? Because you need some inspiration. Why? Because y'all models. Why? Because y'all model-esque. Why? Because some of y'all aspiring models. Why? Because we have representation. DeAndre, if you do not know him, he is hoodlum. If you don't know who that is, if you ever seen the fashion show and you see those very over nasty bad men's wear puffer jackets, one of our own is competing in this competition that is on Netflix, and everybody in the DMV area should be spamming Netflix right now. When I tell you, not only is DeAndre poised, respectful, humble, very peaceful to look at, he is spitting out looks. Look after look after look after look. And if you know anything about anything, you will want to support somebody that you've seen with your own eyes come from the same place that you did. With that being said, the only thing that I want to say is that I am in support of Next in Fashion, and everybody that's in the DMV area needs to be watching, needs to be spamming to the point that we should be able to get on the Netflix app. Listen, share your password. You share everything else. Share your password. Yeah, y'all need to be watching DeAndre on Next in Fashion, and not just because it's him. It is such an inspirational show to see people who taught themselves how to sew on YouTube, who have worked with major fashion brands already, who has been like ghost designers for people, who have also had their own fame and recognition, their own. They just need the global superstardom, and for one of our own to be on there, I feel like I'm his mother. Well, not his mother, but I'm happy like his mother, but I feel like I'm like his sister, like, yeah, brother, yeah, and spin the look and turn it out. He ain't beat you. Yeah, and you're in first place too. I'm watching the TV with that much excitement. Listen, DeAndre Hoodlum, we are so proud of you. We are so proud of you. Listen, I, Miss August, am so proud of you, and I'm so happy to see you tear this competition down like you've been doing now. 10 episodes are already out. Y'all go ahead and fill yourselves in. I'm pretty sure that they're going to do the finale in a couple of weeks. Baby, just be in tune, and congratulations, DeAndre Hoodlum. Like, baby, you did that. Now, to the good stuff. Vanity Elite, this is your second time. Uno dos. This is your second time. Uno dos. This is your second time putting on a phenomenal anniversary ball event. Now, this is a step up from last year. And when I say step, I mean like jump. I mean like leap. I mean like gigantic, baby. You had lighting in the building, decorations in the building, baby. You had VIP tables that you sold for $300 that had the likes of hookah all night, long-lasting, long fire coals. 2 bottles of sparkling wine, i.e. vis-a-vis Prosecco, champagne, if you will. Grilled chicken sandwiches from Chick-fil-A. Yeah. A platter for you and 10 tickets for you to come on in to the ball. Listen, Miss August got her a table because I said one thing about it. I went to Vanity Elite last year and I enjoyed myself. I even walked the ball. Actually, it was the last ball that I have notably seen walking that because I ain't walking no more. Miss August is good. But the point is that I expected it to elevate. When I came to Vanity Elite's ball, I expected it to elevate. Mind you, y'all, I got there early. I got there around 1 o'clock because I wanted to see where my table was sitting at. No shade. I got to go in and I got to, scan the room. And my hotel was about 15 minutes away, 20 minutes if you're cruising. So I said, you know what? I'm going to go. I'm already halfway ready. I'm going to go and pop in and see how everything is going. When I say that Vanity Elite was in there so organized, so pleasant, so helpful, so cool, so simple, so sweet. And saw my table. I was just fine. I was over there in the spectator section. I didn't feel no way. Actually, it was the best seat that I could have been in because honestly, I felt really good of seeing the ball from a different angle, a different perspective. Typically, I'm either on the judges panel or if I'm not judging, I sit up there by the judges. If I'm not doing that, I'm mixing and mingling. I'm all the way around. But since I had a VIP table experience, I did not even want to get up from my table. I had prime real estate at the Vanity Elite Anniversary Ball. You guys are undeniably awesome when it comes to the way that you serve the people that you are in community with. Vanity Elite owes me not a crumb when it comes to hospitality, when it comes to sportsmanship, when it comes to a full-on experience, when it comes to a weekend vibe. You guys are the most pleasant people that I know in Philadelphia. No shade. No shade. Y'all are so pleasant and so sweet. And the service is A1. And listen, before I move on, want to also shout out to the other icons that were in the building. Because when I go places, I typically go alone because I'm a loner. I always move alone. I've been moving alone my whole life. You know what I mean? However, in this community, I know everybody. You all know that my home team is Models Envy. So typically, when I would go to the balls growing up, when I was y'all age, I'm not that old, but when I was y'all age, and I was full force in a group in Models Envy, when we went there, it was just ooh, the energy was amazing. Everybody was just on 10, but to go to the balls now and really be able to relive that experience from an icon point of view, this was top tier. I want to shout out to Zeta, who was the first lady of Vanity Elite, baby. Y'all turned an event out. Y'all turned the event out. Shout out to Zeta. Shout out to Asia. Shout out to Tony. Shout out to Orlando. Shout out to Dee. Shout out to me. Shout out to Kirk. Shout out to Desmond. Those are your icons that were in the building. Listen, I love to see it. And listen, most of the people that I named were working the ball. So Kirk and Desmond initially were the main MCs of the ball. And then the rest of the icons, Zeta, Asia, Tony, they were on the panel. And then Orlando, of course, was with Models Envy. And Desmond and Kirk, I said they was on the man. But D was with Righteous Ones. So let's just clear the air, right? I got a DM about the fashions on the panel. Now, to be honest with you, I got to the ball a couple of categories in, right? And when I got to the ball, all of the judges were already seated. The ball was in full force. When I got to the ball, the plus size winner was leaving this ball to go walk another Kiki ball in Philly and had red effect on, looked amazing. I went to go see the clip. I said, oh, okay. Plus size runway looked like it was a thing. So shout out to the winner of plus size runway for rolling that suitcase and rolling your grand prize right on out the door to the Kiki ball. I hope you did well. Keep on coming out. Keep on walking. I love to see it. With that being said, so I didn't get to see the fashions that were on the actual panel. I missed most of the call outs. But when I did get in the car, I started to watch the live that Vanity Elite had on their feed on Instagram. So I'm down to the Vanity Elite. And I see Miss Kelly, the legendary Kelly, walk out. And the theme of this ball was international, basically an international sleigh. So she was very festive. I mean, full gown, full length, two pattern, such a really cool effect to be judging the ball, to be sitting there to just to be pretty. I really appreciated Kelly. So then after Kelly, Ted came out, who gave me very much of who fully covered. So Ted's effect was a head covering and a full blown. You would think it was a ball gown from the way that it was out and puffed and dragging, but you can tell that there was some type of draping on. Baby, full on international streetwear. So when I saw them on the video, I was like, oh, the judges are in character. This is con. Then I get to the ball, and to be honest with y'all, I'm going to pause it right there. When I got to the ball and walked into the door and saw that place at capacity, my heart was just so warm. I was like, this is what I'm talking about. Full on support in town and out of town. Baby, Vanity Elite had that thing sold out, busting to the seams, heat on hell. You know, when a lot of black people get in the room, it's hot. Okay, I'm hot now. I'm sitting by myself. When a lot of black people get in the room, baby, it gives y'all need to cut the air on. But ain't nothing you can do when it's a room full of black people. It's too much joy in the room at the same time. So when I tell you I walked in and it was pumping, I got very much a VIP treatment. I mean, listen. Why not? The icon entered the room, and I thank you, and I thank you. I love Vanity Elite. Immediately, the hookah asked the hookah person at the thing, what flavor do you want for your hookah? I got me a watermelon and a mint. You know, and then they escorted me to my table, which a lot of spectators were already sitting at. So I just wanted to make sure I got the seat that I wanted. So a couple of them got up. I let the rest of them sit there. I had prime real estate at the ball. Upon me entering the ball, a category later, I think I walked in on Devo. So the Matadors were out. They were walking. It was full force. It was Devo at, to me, some of the finest work that I've seen in Devo in a long time, because I had really written that category off because it had started to turn into technique. And I'd be so tired of all of the people just mixing and mashing and mashing and mixing the categories. There's no separation. Everybody wants to walk everything, and you don't look good doing it. So with that being said, I was happy to see the Matadors on the floor. Bryson, pull up to the screen. Bryson, when I seen you battling, I said to myself, this category is not dead. The Devos are not dead. The Devos were out there. It was full force. I love all of the cleanliness that was in the Devo. Of course, Bryson did win that category. Shout out to UC. Shout out to Bryson, baby. Turned it out. With that being said, I got called out at the ball, and I received a DM about this. So I'm not even going to address it. I'm going to move on about the DM that I received, because I never want the overshadowing of something negative to supersede the positivity that flew through that room when I walked in that door. I want to thank each and every company, every icon, every legend, every superstar, every statement that when I walk in the room, scream my name, say my name, clap for me, go off for me, in light and in love. I want to personally thank every single one of y'all. When August erupted in that room, and I walked to the side, I couldn't get it together. There was so much love in that community when I walked my LSS. I am so grateful to you guys. Like, y'all have no idea what it feels like to be in the position that I'm in. I have a lot on my plate personally, but then when it comes to this scene, I feel manually responsible for the health and the well-being of the models and the spectators of this community's well-being. I feel responsible for you guys. The way that you guys reach out to me, the way that you guys ask me for your opinions, the way that y'all even DM me from fake page being very shady, asking me, I ain't gonna say it, asking me things about the support in the room. I'm not gonna say nothing because the love always prevails. With that being said, shout out to all of y'all. I don't want to talk about the fascists on the panel because somebody already said that that's what burnt them up. What I can say, what didn't burn me up is finding out that Vanity Elite, that Vanity Elite gave all of these judges a real good gift bag, baby. I heard it was Dior, Chanel, Charlotte Tilbury, all types of facial cleansers and products, very high-end Vanity. Vanity Elite is setting the bar. Because, and you know what? I'm not even going to say that Vanity Elite is setting the bar because we've been going to balls for a long time. If you're like me, it's well over 15 years now that I've been attending balls, going to balls, participating in balls, even throwing a ball. Vanity Elite is between them and Kush, I'm just like, who won battle for hospitality? Hospitality of the year. I need to throw awards. I need to throw an awards ball just for that. I need that category, hospitality of the year, because between Vanity Elite and Kush, when I hosted Kush show early in February, I said, this is just too much. You people have been raised correctly. So shout out to every single one of you guys. Listen, I was just so grateful and ecstatic about that. Like, that was so good to me. All right, before we move on, I do want to shout out, because I did make mention of the legends, of the icons. I want to send a special shout out to Hollywood Kush CEOs models. Now, I wasn't there, but I was watching our live. And upon me watching our live, Kirk and Desmond deemed Hollywood a legend at Vanity Elite's ball. Congratulations. I've already told you this, held you, hugged you, congratulated you. What an award to receive. I want to say that in light of Hollywood getting that deeming, the icons of the community had no idea that it was happening, right? So, of course, immediately while I'm watching the live, I'm getting text messages like, what happened? What's going on? This, that, and the third. And it's not because they were trying to figure out why Hollywood got legendary status, because Hollywood was on a list to get legendary status as a collective from the icons. But why was it just Hollywood? I'm going to be honest with y'all, I can't answer that question. And I just want to put it on record that I can't answer that question. But quiet as it's kept, but loud as it's going to be said, Hollywood was supposed to be getting deemed at, Kush's event that I just hosted. So that didn't happen. I'm not sure why. Moreover, I do feel like the event ran over time, but I didn't know that it was happening there either until I knew that it was going on. So I can't answer anybody's questions on why Hollywood got deemed, and there's still a list of 25 others that didn't get deemed. Listen, I did not have anything to do with it. However, I 100% support it because Hollywood was on the list to get deemed. With that being said, I'm going to move on. Now, as we move throughout this broadcast, I want you to know that I don't know all of y'all names. With that being said, it'll be helpful if y'all start walking more consistently so that I can learn your name. And then when I do learn your name, you know what? Can we talk about that? Because I don't even feel like learning nobody's names. I got 4 kids of my own, don't even remember their names half the times. I'll be honest with you. I call them all the same names to the point that I just like, boy, come here. You know what I'm saying? So with that being said, I feel like already there are so many people in UC. They're actually great models, right? They walk the category, and like 3 or 4 of them be winning at the same time. So I can't learn nobody name new. One, because UC usually got 6 people left at the end of one category, and so all 6 of them got to take a trophy home, and I only know like the popular girls, and then I gotta learn the other two because I was like, no, they were great. I wanted to see them. So it's just too many names to learn. So if I know your name, I know your name. If I don't, charge it to my head, not my heart. Listen, just charge it, okay? With that being said, what I do want to say is that we might need to put a cap on these categories, because if I'm experiencing overload of not UC winning, because a win is a win. We can't argue about UC winning a ball, right? For me, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like they won every category. Like their representatives won every category. Not to discount anybody else that walked that ball, because the competition was in the room. Vanity Elite, Kush, and Righteous Ones gave battles worth salivating for. Like the way that I thoroughly enjoyed the competition that was in that room, you just got to call a spade and know that it's going to cut the book, because UC has 900 models. To me, I feel like we need to somehow figure out how we can circumcise the amount of people who walk per category. Not because we don't want the ball to be too lengthy, but I actually want to see the competition that's in the room, and I want to see the best of the best. I kind of don't want to see people just going to do diva for the first time. We're in the season of this competitive nature of modeling that the models are seasoned much faster than we were when I was walking balls 10 and 15 years ago. The models typically are coming from the likes of EOE, the likes of, Flowers Couture, the likes of, what my baby's names over there that start with the P? I can't think of them, but like they're coming from Lowell. So most of them are already coming pre-trained. Like when I came into the scene years and years and years ago, we practiced walking with each other. Like that's what it was. The training wheels are off when you go to these balls. When you start to join these companies now, some of these walkers have already been walking for 3 and 4 years. So I, in my opinion, do need to figure out how we need to narrow down and circumvent like the amount of people that's walking the category. Because to me, you see going to win every damn ball. It's no shade. It have been winning. It have been winning. It have been winning every ball because they got 900 models. between all of their companies and the subdivisions of each. We're talking about the DC home base to the Virginia State to the Boise State. There are hundreds of active models and probably thousands of inactive models that haven't even joined another team since they've been on UC. UC roster is rostering. I see wild models that going to Boise State and expanding. Kush going to Boise State and expanding. Everybody going everywhere to expand because the roster needs to extend. And UC been doing this for a long time. So, baby, in these main balls that we have, I do feel like we need to figure out how we can cap categories and only sending out a certain numbers of divas, a certain number of divos, a certain number of face girls, a certain number of butch queen up and pumps. Just so that I can learn y'all names, one. But two, we can kind of see, where the competition is lying. And for me, there's already a lot of ball training that goes on in all of these companies, whether it's the high school division or more of the main companies. Everybody practices ball practice. So I feel like it gives process of elimination there. And then we're bringing the greatest girls down to the floor because the competition is so amazing in the room. I want to just go ahead and just hop on this thing and talk about Peach and Prima first. Butch Queen Up in Pumps, to me, is notably one of the cleanest categories in our community. Butch Queen Up in Pumps, for me, really draws back the essence of what technique, shade, swag, individuality, and all over effectiveness a category can be. Prima and Peach, Kush And Vanity Elite, that final battle owed me nothing. Grand prize ended up going to Peach, and I'll be honest with you, it could have went either way for me. But when I tell you, I love a pill out of a effect type of girl. Baby, so there already weren't that many people walking the category, right? If I'm not mistaken, it was probably under 5. Peach came out, got the tens, baby, gave very much of a nasty, nasty bad Asian Harajuku effect. Immediately peel out of that effect into another effect, and that Prima Kush walked. When I tell you walked, clean lines, swift, effervescent, just a nasty battle. I enjoyed that battle so much. Definitely one of my top 5 battles of the night. And I'm only talking about my top 5 tonight. I don't have time to go to category to category. I don't want to talk about all of that stuff because, baby, to be honest with y'all, the categories wasn't that good. Sorry. Porcelain Kush versus All Star UC. I was going to save this for last, but I'm just going to go ahead and get into it. So I'm on the sideline minding my business in my premium seating that Vanity Elite has awarded me with on that fine Saturday early afternoon. And I see the Diva girls come out. And everybody knows that Miss August is icon for Diva and Best Dress. So whenever I'm in a room and the spirit drops on me to say, give these girls some money, I give these girls some money. So I made a quick little, ooh-ah to Jasmine and Kurt and let them know that whatever the grand prize is, I'm doubling it. Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. When I said that, I didn't know what the initial grand prize was, but I'm good on the cash out. You know what I'm saying? I'm good on the cash out. So if the grand prize was 100, I could have spent 200 for the girls because I love the category that much. And I know that it's always better to give, especially when you're in a place where a lot of people just take all the time. So I'm always for putting up a coin, baby. So I put my coin up, didn't know how much it was going to be. Now, I did hear that it was 50 at the end of the day. So that means it doubled to 100. With that being said, by the time, I got to telling people I was going to bless them, blessings started coming from all over the room. And I got 50, and I got 25, and I got. By the time it was done, I feel like the pack got to $625 for a Diva battle that the girls didn't even get their 10s in first. So I had to get up, me and my all silver. I had to get up and get on the judges panel to see what my money was, because I didn't know how much of that $620, no shade. I didn't know how much of that $625 I was responsible for. So I said, let me get on up and get on this judges panel. So, of course, the judges panel graced me and allowed me to sit down. And when I tell you the battles ensued, they ensued. Now, y'all let a couple of them girls go. I would have liked to chop. But I'm more of a chopper than I am a tenor. I'm just honest with you. I don't really like to waste my time. It's if I don't see it, I don't see it. If the arms going everywhere they ain't supposed to go, I don't see it. If the wig come off, I don't want to see it. If the shoulder's too shouldery, I don't want to see it. If it ain't in your face, I don't want to see it. But let me tell you something. When war is in your eyes, I already know who's going to the last battle. So before all of the people even walked the category, grand prize ended up going to UC, and the queen of UC actually won the battle down after all of UC was left. But my favorite part of that full experience was Porcelain Kush, who we all affectionately know as Susie, and All-Star UC. There was an essence of beauty that I have missed about the Diva category, that when I seen those two walk in battle, I didn't know who to pick fairly. I didn't know, because I didn't have favoritism in that moment. You know what I mean? And I don't judge with favoritism. I just try to go with like who I see it for at the time. It was so hard to judge them too. I have never in my life witnessed Susie walk like that. And Susie been around. Now I watch her on her runway shows. She usually typically comes out for face at balls. To see her in that striking red gown, beautiful ponytail, awesomely applied makeup, and the fierceness and strongness that she exuded walking diva, breathtaking. That all-star you see, whenever I see her, she give me a you don't want no problems vibe. Very much of a I said what I said vibe. Very much to the tone of, yeah, what's up? She gives me that. And when I see her present herself, she always gives you a full Chanel and a war in her eyes. So immediately I knew she was knocking down the girls. When they battled, I was so speechless that I didn't care who didn't win. I actually wanted to just see them two walk all night. That was the definition of two different divas pulling into one nasty battle. I thoroughly enjoyed that battle from Diva. Like I said, Grand Pass ended up going to UC. There were about 4 or 5 girls. They said that they were going to battle for the coin. Y'all know me personally, I don't believe in battling your teammates, but it's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's a new life, and the girls be feeling good. So with that being said, they battled it down, ended up spinning the coin. The queen ended up winning, and she got all of her money. Because when we went to the chicken joint after, I asked her, so what was that? And she was like, yeah, she had like 425, 475, something like that. But in totality, I feel like she got like 625. Like that was the end coin. And so, I sent my money to her, and then she was owed like $30, $40, something like that. She got her money. And I'm happy to see that and know that, because there's always room left for interpretation, that when the girls start to put their money up, that the girls don't get their money, and I don't like that, and I love when the girls get their money. And baby, one of my highlights of the night is when Kirk kept on saying, I came in like doing Diva, when Kirk was singing, I came in like a wrecking ball. I ought to screamed out loud several times. I enjoy Kirk every time he is on that mic. I enjoy Kirk every time he is on that mic. Now, I want to make these 2 last comments before I go. And I want to address the face category is lazy. The face category is lazy. I was not there for the face category, but I did watch it online. It's lazy. And you girls, I don't know if this is a new age face category. I don't know what's going on. But just because you're pretty don't mean you can walk face. Just because your makeup is applied cute don't mean you can walk face. There has to be a structure that is going on in your face. There has to be a smile that is undeniable. There has to be some symmetry that the girl sitting next to you just can't get. The face category for me is always falling flat. You'll get like a sprinkle of 1 and 2. And that be enough. And to me, those are the only 2 I want to see walk the category. The face category is dying, and we need to wake it up. That's all I wanted to say about that. It's getting lazy and it's dying. And it'd be too much makeup on. I said it. It'd be too much makeup on in faces. For you to be walking face with all of that makeup on. I don't understand. What's the juxtaposition? And then when the men come out and walk face, I be confused because they don't be having on no dust, and the girls that be beat for 15 funerals. The face category is lazy. Find somebody else to do it. I want to talk about best dress before I get on out of here, because I need to address this. I need to go to my photos because I took a screenshot of what best dress was supposed to be. Now, we're not going to go in too long about best dress, but it was called Fashion as a Company, and it was supposed to give us Saudi Arabia effect. So Dubai and the things. So it's supposed to be like 5 people doing a category at the same time. Ain't nobody come out but one team. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe it was UC in one branch and then they got chopped. So the reality is that I think that the category altogether was bad. Not because of the people that walked the category. It was just a terrible idea. The category was a terrible idea. One, because what? That should have been a grand prize because people have to put in monetary, like put their money up real bad in order to get Saudi Arabia, Dubai, fully covered, draped gown. First of all, to be honest with you, child, y'all Aladdin costumes styled up again could have just absolutely won that category, you see. But, I'm just now reading and it just dawned on me. Y'all could have did that. And won as a company. But with that being said, I just wasn't happy about that category. Strut Carnival in Rio, they called the Strut Girls. The Strut Girls was out in the hallway practicing, and they counted from 10 to 1 so fast, child. The Strut Girls missed it and came back out. Baby, UC was going to win anyway. They was the only ones dressed. And let me tell you something about those costumes. Because y'all didn't even get to see them hit the floor because they went over. Strut is the best dressed category. The best dressed people in the scene when it comes to putting the look together are the strut people. Whoever's walking strut is the most fashionable always that night. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Those Butch Queen up in Pumps got a close second. I'm talking about beating any category. Yeah. That strut and then Butch Queens, over. This is my grand finale. Y'all want to hear my grand finale? Let's talk about Zay versus Bad Boy. The Battle of the All-Americans. All-American is my absolute favorite category. It is my absolute favorite category. If I would like to walk All-American. Is that in the bylaws? Do we have bylaws? I would like to walk All-American. I love that category. And I feel like I can win. I feel like I can win All-American. I love All-American. All-American is one of the most, it's always been my favorite category. Back in the day when the girls used to Vogue, I used to love Vogue. But since the Vogue's not voguing no more, All-American became my favorite category. Let's talk about it. Zay versus my man, Bad Boy. First of all, before we even get there, y'all were dressed so nice. All of the All-Americans that hit the floor for that category, clean. I caught a whiff of everybody going, y'all smell good. All y'all hair was cut. Y'all look good. Y'all stature was there. Y'all, some of y'all wasn't even 6 feet tall, but y'all was walking like it. There is something to marvel upon when you get to the point when you see these girls and they are just growing up in your face. I'm like, these young men that I used to see are now All-Americans and walking like the likes of Ricos and Barrys and Dwaynes, and Harley. And I was taken aback. But that final battle, let's talk about it. Zay versus Bad Boy, phenomenal, breathtaking, on the edge of your seat. If you had to pee, you peed on yourself. If you didn't, you should have. Because that was a battle. That was a battle. The way that Bad Boy and Zay battle, let me be honest with y'all, I thought Zay got him. And then there was this moment when I saw Bad Boy stop and put a hook. And I said, he got him back. And then they kept walking. And then the building started to erupt. You see me. And I said, now Bad Boy momentum picking up even more because it's like, you're not going to beat me. And Zay stayed in his bag, shoulder square, pace steady. And there was this moment when Zay walked by and the back tail of the African print went with him. Because I had good ankle. I had premium prime seating. And then Bad Boy came and walked straight across the table and took and took the bottom of the garment, and it just ever so gently flew, and it would fall behind me. I said, oh, damn, he won. When I tell you, I almost peed on myself. When I tell y'all, I said, I don't know who is going to win this battle. At one point, I thought Zay was winning. Then I thought Bad Boy was winning. Then I said Bad Boy. When I said, no, Zay got him. And then they kept walking and they kept moving. I said, I don't know who's going to win this battle. The energy was so thick on that judges panel. It gave, yeah, who you going to pick? Shout out to UC Bad Boy for winning. But baby, when I tell you that competition was as tight as somebody's ear just getting box braids. When I tell you that was some stiff competition, like a bad synthetic wig, baby. That competition, and it was as thick as a plus size runway girl. When I tell you that was a battle, didn't owe me a thing, don't owe me nothing. If you was going to end the ball any type of way, you was going to end it like that. You was going to end it like that. I could have left. I could have went on home. I could have went on about my way. And that was it for me when I saw that battle, baby. That battle was over. Shout out to Bad Boy. I will say, after Bad Boy did win the category, Vanity Elite has some strong contenders too. Righteous Ones was on one that night. Like, all night long. Like, when I kept on sneakily saying Righteous Ones, a female figure, then I saw Righteous Ones. They walked almost every category. I was so happy to see everybody participating. I was just like, the competition in there was thick. And I really, really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. The whole All-American battle, baby. Tyron from A Righteous One, shout out to you. Like, you were walking. And I said, I got to go back and watch Tyron because I do have a few pointers. But Tyron, you are a competitor. Like, you are a competitor. Like, the people were walking that category, and I truly, truly, truly enjoyed it. I truly enjoyed that category. I know, give me some water, child. It's about time for me to take my leave. Listen, before I go, I did have a couple of more things to say, but I won't say it because that's going to turn into mess. With that being said, this has been my first review. I'm going to tell you one thing. The next review I do is going to be 30 minutes. Me sitting down talking to y'all for 52 minutes is a long, long time. But I appreciate y'all. I thank y'all. Listen, if I had said something earlier, I did want to say something about these mics needing to be balanced during the ball. First of all, the commentating did get a little sloppy the longer the ball went on, to be honest with y'all. I feel like, yes, we do give a lot of people time to get on the mic. I did enjoy the way that Brandon and Kirk sound on the mic together. But when First Lady Kush grabbed the mic, I felt like she needed some more lows on her mic. And I do think that we need to provide that for people who want to, pick up the mic and start doing some commentating, because it's fair. It's a fair exchange for the community. And the people that want to, if they want to build that mic, they need to have the mic situated to their voice. And yeah. Icon, where y'all at? I need y'all back on the floor. I know. Y'all only come out, y'all production agency. I know. I need y'all back on that floor. Models everywhere y'all was at. I need y'all back on that floor. I saw y'all back there in them lime green hoodies. I need y'all back on that floor. See, now when I think of it, like, this is why participation is just so huge in my mind. The way that the ball went, I can only imagine if you had that sprinkle of diva, that Jubilee on the floor. If you had, Polka on the floor, like if Maya walked, even if the icon Orlando pumped out, if Damo walked face, like they was there. They just didn't work. I thought they was though, but I can't assume nothing. I don't know nothing. But when I tell you, I can only imagine like how the tides would have really turned if everybody that came actually participated. Like, whew. A time was had. Vanity Elite, after we left our ball, child, I went home. I told you I already had me a duck leg, some bronzini, and then I went down to the after party. And when I tell you a time was had again, Vanity Elite, one thing y'all know how to do is y'all know how to put on the weekend. Baby, y'all partied again. Y'all was just as drunk as y'all wanted to be. Enjoyed yourself, and I enjoyed y'all being drunk too. And I tell you, I had a great time. That was some of the best chicken that I've had in a long time, to the point that I went to church on Sunday, and after we left church, I told my husband we had to go back to go get some of that chicken, because I only had one chicken wing. Shout out to the icon, Tony, for sharing his one sweet chicken wing with me because I was full. I was full and I like to overeat things like that. So he insisted that I taste this chicken wing. And I was so happy that I did because when I went back, I got me 4 jerk wings, and then we had some macaroni and cheese, and we had some yams, and we had some greens, and we also toasted some fresh green beans. And then we also had a fish sandwich. And when I tell you that all of that food was phenomenal that next day that we went, Vanity Elite, 10 out of 10, 10 over 10, 10 plus 10. You deserve it all. Listen, I am done. A time was had. I got a couple of more things to say, but these things have nothing to do with Vanity Elite's ball. So what I will do next week is come back and give you, I got a few guests coming. The girls want to come. The people want to come. They want to come and chat after dark. So next week, join me with my special guest. Don't try to guess who it is. You'll see them when they get here. Join me with my special guest, and it's been real. Nothing really burned me up in a negative way. I actually truly, truly, truly enjoyed my weekend with Vanity Elite. Listen, if it's smoke somewhere, there's bound to be some fire. And that's probably going to burn me up. So next... Ciao. Bye, y'all. Peace.